Hello, friends. Today, for writing, I have a book that I'm going to read for you to hopefully help you generate some ideas for what you would like to write about today. So, I'm going to read a chapter from the book Things Will Never Be the Same. It's by Tommy DePaulo, which you might know this author. He writes the book Stregonona, which I know is a really fun book to read. Hopefully, you've had a chance to read it. So, in this book, it's based on some of the experiences that Tommy had growing up. I'm going to read a chapter about something that happened to him as a child. Now, there are two characters in this story. One is named Miss Canary, and she was Tommy's first grade teacher. And then one was named Miss Gardner, and she was his second grade teacher. So when you hear those names, you can know that they were past teachers of his. Okay, let's get started. Here's the illustration. We're going to be reading chapter 8 today. All right, let's check it out. Wednesday, September 3rd, 1941. Dear Diary, school started today. Hooray for second grade! I can't wait for art lessons to start. Your second grade friend, Tommy. School at last. We went to Miss Canary's room and waited. Finally, Miss Philomena came in and told us what second grade room we'd be in. I was in Miss Gardner's room. So was Jeannie Hoodlet and a lot of my friends. I went to Miss Gardner's room and looked around. I didn't see any fall leaf decorating the walls like some of the other rooms. Instead, I saw lots of arithmetic, that means math, charts up, all numbers. Maybe I'd tell Miss Gardner that I could do some pictures for the bulletin board. Second grade was not like first grade. After about a week of school, it was my birthday. On September 15th, I was 7 years old. Last year, Miss Canary let Mom come to the class on my birthday with a sheet cake for everyone. But Miss Gardner didn't allow birthdays in class, so no cake or cookies at school. Instead, Mom said I could pick out 4 friends and she would take us to the wild animal farm in Southington after school. When we got there, we saw a crow at the place where you went in. The man said the crow could talk, but it just sounded like caw, caw to me. Inside, we saw bunnies, a fox, a beaver, weasels, peacocks, but no tigers or boa constrictors like I hoped we would. But we had fun anyhow. I got some presents this year. A wood-burning set, a pair of ball-bearing roller skates. Now I'm wearing 2 keys around my neck, my diary key and my skate key. A diary key is a little key that unlocks your diary, and a skate key is something they used with old-fashioned roller skates to help tighten them. And best of all, a box of 64 Crayola crayons. I knew we were going to have real art lessons this year with Mrs. Bowers, the real art teacher. I had already met Mrs. Bowers once when I was in kindergarten and made the Valentine mailbox. Mrs. Bowers saw it and told me how much she really liked it. I wished Mrs. Bowers would hurry up and get here. I took my crayons to school the next day. I wanted to be ready for Mrs. Bowers whenever she finally came. Miss Gardner saw them and said, "Tommy, take those crayons home and leave them there." Miss Gardner wanted us all to use the same stupid school crayons. She only gave us 1 piece of paper, too. Mom told me that Mrs. Bowers only came to school every 2 months or so, and she had to go to all the classrooms, not just ours. But finally, one afternoon before we went home, Miss Gardner told us that Mrs. Bowers was coming to our classroom the next day. Well, that night, I could hardly sleep. The next morning, Mrs. Bowers came in, wearing her blue artist smock and carrying a big box of thick colored chalks. I had secretly brought my 64 Crayolas to school, even though Miss Gardner had forbidden them in her classroom. When I saw those colored chalks, I was sure Mrs. Bowers would understand. 2 boys from 6th grade followed her into the classroom holding a big, big piece of paper from the paper roll at the end of the hallway. Looks like this giant big piece of paper. Mrs. Bowers put the paper up over the blackboard. She turned around and I knew the art lesson was about to begin. I wasn't sure what it would be, but I was excited and ready. Well, the first morning, it started off badly. First of all, Miss Gardner handed one of those awful school crayons in our 1 piece of paper. Then Mrs. Bauer started to talk about Thanksgiving coming and how we would learn to draw a pilgrim man, a pilgrim lady, and a turkey. Oh boy, I thought, this will help me when I make the place cards for Thanksgiving dinner. So now, boys and girls, Mrs. Bauer said, copy what I do. Copy? Real artists don't copy. My twin cousins told me that. They should know because they had studied at a real art school in Brooklyn. I just sat there. Miss Gardner saw me sitting with a frown on my face. She said something to Mrs. Bowers. They came over to my desk. What's the matter now? Miss Gardner asked. I didn't answer. I took my 64 Crayolas out of my desk and spoke to Mrs. Bowers. I told her about the one piece of paper. I told her about my cousins and how real artists don't copy. And besides, I said, I'm growing up to be an artist. Then I told Mrs. Bowers how I had drawn right on my sheets under the covers and how Mom and Dad had let me draw on the walls before they put up the plaster when they were building our new house. I told her I drew whenever I could. Well, I was lucky. Mrs. Beulah Bowers understood completely. But I have to be fair to the rest of the children, Tommy, she said. So if you draw the pilgrims and the turkey using the school crayons, I'll give you another piece of paper and you can draw whatever you want with your own crayons. Okay, I said, and I did. I changed the way Mrs. Bowers drew noses, though. I liked the way I drew them better. I think she did too. For my own drawing, I drew a picture of Mrs. Bowers in her blue smock with all the beautiful combs in her hair. She asked if she could have it, but I explained that I had to keep it. She understood that too. That day, Mrs. Bowers and I became really good friends. She never came to school without saying, Hello, Tommy. Do any new drawings lately? Mrs. Bowers knew the answer would be yes. She always took the time for me to show them to her. So in this book, Tommy was talking about a memory that he had. And this was a memory in second grade with his new teacher and his art teacher. And you can see he had some strong feelings at different parts of this story. But it's a really good model for what you'll be doing today because oftentimes authors write about memories that they have. A lot of memories in our brains can have really, really vivid pictures and interesting stories. So think about for a minute, what memories might you be able to write about? It could be something in second grade like Tommy did, or it could be a memory from summer or a birthday party or a holiday. Lots of really exciting things. Take a moment and just think about different memories that you have. Sometime I'll write about the memory of when my sister ran me over with a lawnmower. It was very vivid. It happened in fourth grade, and I remember it so well. So that's something I might write about today because not only is it kind of a funny story, but it's kind of a scary story too. So it has a lot of interesting details that I could add. It might be what I write about. All right, so your job today for writing is to choose one of these things to write about. You can write about a memory, just like Tommy did in the book. You could choose another idea in your writing ideas section and write about it. Or you could write about something else that interests you. In writing, most of the time, this last bullet will be an option. Because writing shouldn't ever be the feeling of, oh, I have to write. It should be something we want to do. And I understand that's not the case for everyone, but this year I hope it becomes the case for everyone. So take a minute and choose which one you would like to write about. And if it doesn't take the whole half hour writing about one, you can always start with maybe writing about a memory and then switching to another idea in your writing ideas section. It's totally fine. All right, when you have your idea, go ahead and get started. You're welcome to post it to Seesaw if you'd like, or write it on paper, whatever feels better for you. Can't wait to read them.